Welcome to the Books and Martinis Podcast.
I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy.
And this is your go-to book podcast,
where we lift, empower, and spotlight authors.
Grab your martini and follow along.
And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
Hey, book lovers. This episode of Books and Martinis is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors. Blue Box Media, you dream it, we produce it. And Travel with Samantha Cividanes, specializing in luxury cruises. Ooh. Their support keeps the stories, authors, and conversations flowing. Don't forget to visit them and support the brands that support this podcast. Now the martinis are poured, let's get into the episode. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Welcome, everybody. Especially Miss Annie Cathryn, who's joining us today live with her moon water. Cheers!
Yay!
Cheers,
Annie
cheers!
Cathryn, cheers!
To moon water and to Annie.
And to her book, Eat the Cake, guys. That's what we're talking about today. Eat the cake. I wish we had cake on. I was actually thinking about that before we started recording. I'm like,
why didn't we think of that?
Would have been so much fun.
So many missed opportunities. Totally had chocolate cake here.
Well, you can go get some after the podcast. It'll be an inspiration.
Exactly.
I like that.
Okay, so guys, I don't know if you realize this, but this is the second time Annie Cathryn has been on our podcast. She's a two-timer because we had her on for the friendship breakup. And we loved that book, and we featured it in our book club. And this book, Eat the Cake, we're also featuring in a book club. Annie, you're on a roll.
Yes,
our book lovers are eating you up.
I am so excited to be here. You guys are a hoot. I love being on your podcast. Ooh, look at Mercy.
I love it. I have both of them. You know, Annie, I was telling you a little bit earlier that we read so many books. All three of us read so many books. And it's so hard to remember. You know it was good or you know it was bad. But to remember what was the character, what was the plot, you know, there's only so many you can really remember, at least for me. And they're far and few between. But the friendship breakup, definitely one I'll never forget. It just, it touched something. And this was right up there. Like if I gave the friendship breakup 5 martinis, I 100% gave Eat the Cake 5 martinis. 100%. It is a must read. That's bad. It is a must read. And you had me from hello, like right in the beginning. You had me, and we're gonna not give any spoilers.
Yeah, we're not
at all.
We always do that. It's so hard. But let me read her bio. Let me curve you a little bit and read her bio. Okay, so Annie Cathryn lives by the motto, creating is living, and is the award-winning author of The Friendship Breakup and Eat the Cake. When not writing or reading, she's organizing her personal library by color and planning her next vacation. Are you going to take us to Italy with you?
Oh, gosh. Yes, I would love to.
Annie earned a journalism degree and a master's in communication from Marquette University and lives in Chicagoland with her husband, daughter, and 2 fur babies. Mm-hmm. And just to give you a little snippet of the book, guys, before we get into it, it's about a widow's career on the line. Her name is Leah, and her heart is in pieces, and her only path forward is a surprise scavenger hunt planned by her late husband. And what a scavenger hunt this was. So much happened in this book, Leah. But let's get into it. Why don't you tell our listeners and our watchers a little bit more about you? Let's refresh their brains.
Yeah, so, okay, I am an author, I'm a marketer, I'm a bookstagrammer. This is my sophomore book, and I decided to go indie on this one. So, I live in Chicago, and I love the Chicagoland, I have to say that, a suburb of Chicago, and I love to travel.
So what inspired you for our second read here?
Yeah, and
we know every book comes from somewhere.
Yeah, and when our debut author, by the way. The era is over. That's
in the past. I know, isn't that crazy?
Full-fledged author with a second book under her wings. Okay, go ahead, answer the question. I'm sorry.
So the inspiration, I think it's twofold. I like the idea of having a woman podcaster who gives advice but can't take her own advice, or something happened in her life and she can dish it out but she can't take it. So
Yes.
that intrigued me and I wanted to explore that. And then I think grief is a universal emotion, and people, I mean, I think everybody has lost somebody at some point in their life. And if not, good for you. But
Right.
grief just struck me. Like I had two very close family members die a year apart. And I think I just wanted to write about how I felt and how people feel and how to navigate grief. Even it's not a linear process. And I wanted to bring that into the story of Eat the Cake.
I love that. You did that very well, if I say so myself. It was really great. And I want to thank you ahead of time for so graciously agreeing and sharing your book with our book club. So they're all
Oh,
looking forward to meeting you. And I'm sure they'll have a million questions. They always do.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't discuss any questions because we don't want anybody, we don't want to spoil it for anybody. But this is going to be airing, Priya, correct me. This will air July 2nd, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
coming
And
up.
the
okay.
book will be released on July 7th,
21st.
21st.
21st. Yeah.
So right now it's your moment to go ahead and pre-order the book if you haven't
Yeah.
already, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but tell us not about your inspiration, but how was the second book different in the writing part of it?
Okay. Yes. So the first book, I sat down and pantsed it like I was a pantser. I don't know, just for anybody who doesn't know what a pantser is, it's someone who just sits down and writes and they don't plot. And
Okay.
I just sat down and wrote the friendship breakup, but then I got an agent and she wanted me to reverse plot it. So I had to go, after the book was written, I had to plot it out. Okay. So then my second book, Eat the Cake, I didn't meticulously plot it, like not every little thing. Well, and I think both of you are authors or writers, so you understand this. I just did the major plot points. And then, so at least I knew where this story was going ahead of time, and I worked in the plot points as I wrote. But so it was a cross between being a pantser and a plotter, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make
Yeah.
sense. It
I
does.
totally understand that because you have to do a tiny bit of planning, even if you're a pantser. I'm very much a pantser. So
Yeah.
and I've learned to incorporate a little bit of organization so I know where
Yeah.
I'm going because I can get confused. I don't know if you got confused. And I know this book had so many details when she went on her scavenger hunt that I probably would have gotten confused if I wasn't keeping track of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why don't you take us behind Leah a little bit? What inspired Leah? Am I saying her name right? Leah, right?
Yes, Leah.
Okay, yeah. So what inspired her? Why this character?
So I had started a private Facebook group for authors called Author Pep Talk. And it was a way to, because the author experience can be very isolating and there's a lot of lows. Well, there's a lot of ups and a lot of lows. I wanted to create a space for authors to come and give each other pep talks. And so after I started that, I think it just made me think about what if I wrote a book about a woman who gives pep talks on a podcast? And so that was really the seed of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what
Yeah.
made you go indie this time?
And oh, indie. Okay, yes. So that's a very long story,
Hmm.
but I wrote two books after the friendship breakup, and then I wrote Eat the Cake. And the second
Oh,
book after the friendship breakup was with my agent and was on sub to publishers for almost 2 years. Like
Wow.
yeah, it was on sub for 2 years, and it got interest from publishers, but they just couldn't figure out. They liked the voice, they liked the story, but they couldn't figure out where to place it in the marketplace. So we ended up taking it off. And then I really loved Eat the Cake. I was working with my agent on it and circumstances happened and I was really just impatient and I wanted to get the book out. And I knew that if I waited any longer, if we went on sub, it would take I don't know how long, but I didn't want to wait anymore. So I just decided that I was going to publish it on my own. And um, then I could control when it came out and I didn't have to wait any longer. Because the Friendship Breakup came out in 2023 and
Mhm.
I was, I wanted a book a year. I know it's kind of hard in this market. But when it was approaching the 3 year mark, I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this myself.
Yeah, something had to change.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't
Oh,
blame you. That's a lot of
mm.
waiting, and that's kind of excruciating,
Yeah.
Can you word?
excruciating.
That is a hard word.
Can you
That's
Words are
kind
word?
of
hard.
hard. um, that's kind of hard to deal with as an author because you just want it out there and you want to move on
Mhm.
because there's
And
other
you want to
things
move on.
happening in your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was that
Yes.
process for you to do the indie process? Like, what was it like? Like, how did
How,
you
yeah,
feel?
what were the differences? The
Mm-hmm.
highs and lows of each one.
Yeah.
Okay. So when a publisher picked up the Friendship Breakup, I still had to do a ton of marketing. And I love marketing, so it was fine. You still have to put money into your book, even if you're with a publisher, unless you're like, I don't know, Stephen King or, a big time author, you really have to still like put in your time and invest.
Mhm.
So, so it didn't really change between as far as marketing, the Friendship Breakup and Eat the Cake, I did the same amount of marketing. The difference is obviously the production of the book. So the publisher takes care of, getting the cover, formatting it, distributing it. Now I'm on the hook for that for Eat the Cake. But I feel like because I went through the debut novel with a publisher, I was taking good notes and I knew what I needed to do to get the book out there. So I was kind of like, well, I had one and I learned from them and now I just put it out on my own. There's a lot of little things that kind of like learning the platforms, like putting it on Amazon, putting it on Ingram Spark, like getting it set for pre-order, figuring out how to format. So there is a lot of work that goes into producing your own book and getting it for distribution. But
Mhm.
if I was willing to do it because I didn't want to wait any longer.
Right.
What
And
tools did you? Oh, sorry,
no,
Merce.
no, go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
What tools did you use to publish? Did you do it in a different platform? For example, Google Docs versus Microsoft Word, and then
Yeah.
transferring it to Ingram, for example. Like, did you have to change your formatting? Like, what was that all that?
Yeah.
I want details because
Yeah.
I know a
Okay.
lot of
So,
folks that listen to us, they look for
yeah.
details and advice, and all our
Yeah.
authors have different processes.
Yeah. So I always write in Microsoft Word. And then to be able to put it on Ingram Spark and you have to do PDF or you can do EPUB as well.
Mhm.
So I tried to format the book myself using Atticus. But unless it's intuitive, I'm not going to read directions. I don't like to watch tutorials. So it wasn't intuitive for me. So I actually ended up hiring a formatter and she was very reasonable and it was worth it because she was able to do it on the Mac one. I can't remember if you know so Mac has an exclusive formatting program. She knew how to do it, no problem.
Oh,
She
that's
whipped it
awesome.
out. She was amazing. So once she formatted it so how it looked on the inside, then she gave it to me in PDF and she also gave it to me in an EPUB version. And then I was able to upload to the different platforms.
That's great. That's great. And that actually Mac has not come up. Not Mac. Yeah, Mac has not come up with the version you were talking about just now. We haven't heard of any authors saying that they transferred it to that. Mercy,
Oh
have
yeah,
you? Go ahead.
No, I'm
is
on
it
Google
called
Doc.
Yeah.
Vellum? Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but it's specific to Mac users and
Mm.
they can it's for book formatting. So
Okay.
There's the Mac one, and then there's the Atticus is for you can use it on any computer. So
Okay. That's great.
yeah,
Oh,
That's
okay.
great to know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so informative. And I see that you're still reading all the time because I see you, we're constantly on the same pods, like just reading books and talking about what's the latest read out there. Uh, aside from, okay, so you said you had written two books after the
Yes,
friendship breakup,
yeah.
which were not Eat the Cake. So there's two books out there that we're not going to ignore. We're going to go back
Are,
to what's happening with those.
yeah, are we gonna get any of that?
Yeah, so
What's the plan?
okay. So I started my own book imprint called Moon Ray Books, and I uh the plan was to take the two that I didn't publish and publish them myself after this. So I have one slotted for 2027 and one slotted for 2028. However, the second the one this one called After She Ran. I actually, my agent was like, I don't, she was overwhelmed. She had so much going on. She didn't want to take it on. So she said I could go out to like figure out if anybody wanted it. Five small publishers wanted that book. And I decided after I went out with Eat the Cake that I wasn't going to go with a small publisher. I was going to do it myself. There's something about the book though that I don't it needs something. Like I feel like I need to go back and revise it before I put it out. So that's my next step is to revise Eat the After She Ran
Okay.
because I want to get it to my goal is to make readers laugh and cry. And I feel like that book
You did
doesn't do
that.
that.
You with Eat the Cake, you
Yeah.
killed it. You killed
Yeah.
it.
So I kind of want, and actually, I got to put a dessert in After She Ran too, because I had chocolate in the friendship breakup, and I have chocolate cake in Eat the Cake. So I actually need to put some sort of dessert in After She Ran because people,
You can keep your
it's kind of,
chocolate.
yeah, it's like the theme, of my stuff. It's so I have to
It
keep,
weaves them all together.
yes, yes. So, but yeah, so you'll see some coming next couple of years.
I look
I'm not
forward to that.
shelving those books. I am publishing those books.
Good. Good. Yeah, that was time and effort. So, and that was going to be my next question. What comes after Eat the Cake? But we see we
Yeah.
already have plans up to 2028.
Yeah.
So that is excellent. And then I cannot wait to hear once the book is out that everybody has it in their hands and it's out there somewhere, um, how the experiences
Yes.
turn out,
Yes.
right?
I'm waiting for that too because
Yeah.
um now, yeah, I want to see it. Regardless, I'm still going to move forward on my own
Right.
because I love doing it. I can do it, but I am interested to see the difference between the reception of the friendship breakup and Eat the Cake.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, does it really make that big of a difference?
Yeah.
And, before you even hit your third one, now you've had one on each side. So
Yes.
that's pretty excellent. That
Yes.
is excellent. How did you find writing writing a second book, which we know is not Eat the Cake, it's She Ran, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
After she ran.
After She Ran. So how did you find writing a book, writing your second book, and then your third and your fourth, but writing that second book after you had completed the first one, did you find that easier or did you find it just as challenging?
I found it easier. I think with each book, I get more comfortable writing and understanding pacing. So the first book, my agent did, she was an editor. She did help me with pacing. And once I learned that, was able to apply it to my next books because you want the reader to keep turning the pages. So,
mhm.
what's the formula? What's going to make them keep turning? And it's like good chapter endings, throwing in a surprise or a twist here or there, or just it's human nature. There's something, it's psychology.
Hmm.
You have to hit the people with the emotions with, oh my God, what's going to happen next? So I do feel that that came through in the books after the friendship breakup.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, in this book, okay, I'm gonna try not to give any spoilers.
There she
So
goes.
so Leah's sister-in-law, Megan, right? I kind of feel
Yeah.
like she was the co-main character reading
Yeah.
this book because
Yeah.
we're following along in her grieving process because that's her
Mhm.
brother that passed
Yes.
away.
Right.
And she's very much a catalyst in the book for all the events that are happening. And then them going on the trip. Can I say that they
Mhm.
went on the
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
trip?
You can
Yes,
say that.
yes. You see it in the cover, so
Yeah,
there is a clip.
and then going on the scavenger hunt, quote unquote
Mhm.
scavenger hunt with
Yes.
Leah, that her husband set up. She's on the
Don't
whole
say too
journey with
much.
her.
Don't say
She's
too
on the
much.
whole journey with her and experiencing her own side plots,
Yeah.
that are happening. Can you take
Yeah.
us into Megan a little bit? Why did you craft
Yeah.
her?
So she's actually my favorite character, so I'm glad you brought her up. I I wanted Leah to have a sidekick who, a very supportive friend, even though she is her sister-in-law, but she is a friend, someone who is going to be there for her. And even though they kind of are grieving together, but Megan comes at it differently because it was her brother. It wasn't her lover, it wasn't a romantic partner. And the grief is very different based on the relationship. And I like that Megan didn't give up on Leah. Leah lost some of her friends because she was such in deep depression and was going, she just didn't want to leave her house. And Megan just barrels right in the door and like, I'm helping you. She
Literally.
rolls up her sleeves. Yeah. And there's something to be said about women friendships and how they deepen when you're going through something traumatic.
Mhm, mhm. Do you think that's a theme now in your books? Because you
Which
obviously
it
friendships
takes
break
us
up.
right. It takes us back to
Yeah.
the first one.
You know, the after she ran to see, this is what's missing. This is why I'm on the podcast. She needs to have dessert and after she ran, and she needs to have a really good girlfriend. So yeah, so
Yes.
hey, you're helping me.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So you enjoy that theme, obviously.
Yeah, so yes, the friendship breakup, I did like having Fallon have a couple really good girlfriends, even though she was going through friendship breakups. And I did enjoy putting having Leah having a good friend to get her through. So I think friendships are important, female friendships, and yeah, I just like writing about them. So you
Well,
guys
I'm
are
glad.
friends, so you understand
That's
this.
right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we've been
And
through a
I,
lot.
yes, yes, yes. And I mean, I love everything about it. I'm like so into it. The I noticed that the amount of pages is very similar. You're off by like, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
50 pages. So your books are pretty
Mhm.
flowing,
Yes.
I guess, right? Aesthetically and with pages.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
Yes. So I do not like reading books that are 500 pages or more. I don't like writing books that are 500 pages or more.
Right.
I want to give the reader enough development and character arc but I don't want to bog them down with details. I don't like to read details. I don't like to write details. I I don't want to describe, and I don't know if I said this on your other podcast, but like I don't want to describe a chair or a lamp or the room for
Hmm.
like 20 sentences. No, I just want to, hey, little bit of a setting, we ground the reader and just go on. I was trained as a journalist, so that's how you get to the point. And so it's been so when I transferred to writing books, I kind of take that with me, short and sweet.
Yeah.
Which I
I,
mean, I as a reader appreciate that.
yeah, me too. You're like boom, 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 boom. Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's move on to the
yeah,
next thing.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
I very much, I love that because I can't sit there, like you said, and just
yeah,
reading the world building around one chair. Like I can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
You lose me.
exactly. Yeah. And actually that's the beauty of being an indie author because you have to have at least 70,000 words to be picked up by a traditional publisher. So
Mhm.
my agent was always saying you have to write more, you have to write more. So the friendship breakup is 73,000 words. And Eat the Cake is 68,000 words. I never got to 70, and I was like, I don't have to because I'm publishing it myself.
Yes, that's right.
So you
You're the
write only
boss.
what's necessary.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to fluff it up.
Yeah.
What kind of tips? So I'm gonna pick your marketing brain a little bit.
Sure.
What kind of book marketing tips would you give? Can you give us like one or two
Yeah.
for
That
our
you've learned
listeners?
from
Hmm.
Eat the Cake. No,
So
actually, from the friendship
from
breakup,
Yeah.
Yep. I
because
think
you had
I've
to do
used
it.
the same marketing through both books. So I'm big on Instagram. I'm big on social media. I do believe that it might not sell books per se, but it does bring awareness. And there's a huge book community on Instagram, and they're seeing my book. And I think authors are a little leery about keep putting out their book like and but if you come at it as a way of like saying why you should read this book, why this book will benefit you, and not so much as like buy my book. It's pick out the benefits, pick out what would resonate. And I've actually reached out to bookstagrammers on their like DMs, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm an author. Would you like some swag? Does this book interest you?" And every single person I've reached out to has said yes.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
I do some research too. Like, okay, I see what they're reading, and then I
Hmm.
say, okay, this person might enjoy this based on this book that they've read. So I do a lot of targeting that way, and it is about making connections and not being salesy, because nobody wants to be sold to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it shows that you're paying attention to them too. They don't feel like you're just reaching out just to make some
Yeah.
money. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
feel like, oh,
exactly.
okay, she sees that
Right.
I like, you know, uh, fiction about
Yeah.
women's
Yeah.
relationships and friendships and stuff. So,
Yeah.
they feel like they're seen by the
Yeah.
author.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love that. I love so much that that on your page, like if we follow her on Instagram, your soul is still very much that of a reader. So there's
Oh, yes.
constantly,
Mhm.
okay, let me quiet my phone.
I agree with that because I I am a bookstagrammer. I started it in around 2020, and I just love books and I support other authors and I post what I love to read. And I think it hits differently when you do support others because you're not just promoting your own book. You're actually
Right.
Hmm.
showing other authors, I mean other readers what you're reading, and I hope that my page is useful to readers who are like looking for a good read because I do only post what I like.
Right.
What's the last book you read?
Okay, so Second Courses is by an indie author. It is about second chance at life, and she's an older woman, and she went through a divorce, and she won the restaurant in the divorce. It was her ex-husband's restaurant. It is so good. I loved it. So that was the last one, and I
Oh,
actually posted it recently. So check it out. Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna look into that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna look into that. And what book do you feel? This will be my last question. I feel like I've
Okay.
had you here forever asking you questions. What book was an inspiration to you? Like when you read it, you said, "Oh, I want to not sound like that author, but I
Yes.
want to be like that author."
Be in that
Like
space.
Yes.
how they touched you, that's how you want to touch your readers. Which
Yeah.
was that author for you?
So Camille Pagan, I don't know if you've read any of her books, but
Mm-mm.
so before I started writing The Friendship Breakup, I was like, I don't I knew how I wrote, and I was like, I can't find any authors like me. I was like, I don't know. Do people want to read books with my voice? Well, then I started to read Camille Pagan's books, and her voice is, and not exactly like mine, but it would gave me the inspiration to, okay, I can do this. She writes for women, women's fiction, and I actually I started promoting her books on Instagram, and then I realized that she was an author coach. And I reached out to her, and then I hired her to be my author coach, and she actually helped me with the friendship breakup.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
Tell me,
so
okay, wait, what's her name?
Camille
Camille.
Pagan. She just
And
wrote a book, The Dog Person, or it's called Dog Person. Highly recommended if you love dogs. It's a tearjerker. It's so good. It's also about a widow. So this man loses his wife and he's left with their dog, and the dog is trying to help him through the grief. And because the dog is
mm,
grieving, and it's narrated by the dog, and then
Oh,
yeah, and then he's grieving and the dog's grieving, and it's really good. So I recommend
wow.
that.
and what
Sounds
other
like right up
books does
Mercy's
she,
alley.
yeah, definitely. What other books does she have? Like what books, what
So
was
her
that one book that you first read that you said,
um
"Oh, I want to read the second one."
she you know what did I do with her books? Because I just reshelved them. I have like all of them. Um Forever is the Worst Long Time is one of her books. Um it life Death, Life and Death Near Experiences, something like that. I'm gonna flub all her titles, but um she just, yeah, I did. All her books are good. Just check them out. She
Okay,
started out as an
I will.
Amazon author, so she was published by
Okay.
Lake Union, and now her latest book is by Delacorte. So she moved
Ooh,
from Amazon to a Big Five.
I love that.
Love it. Okay, good. I'm
So
definitely gonna check her out.
you said, okay, she's an author coach. What
Yes.
did that look like for you to have an author coach? What did that change for you?
So I was having a hard I queried 120 literary agents, and I was frustrated with the process of, and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting picked up. I was getting like the agents were asking me for the book, but then they would pass. So
Mhm.
I just was honest with Camille, and I said, I just want to get an agent. Can you help me? And she goes, absolutely. And it wasn't about her introducing me to anybody. She never did. It was about changing my mindset. And
Oh,
as soon as she helped me and coached me through changing how I looked at it, my perspective, not coming at it as so like desperate of wanting to get the book out, but changing my mindset to be like, I am a great writer. This story needs to be told. And
mm,
I hired her for, I think it was 6 weeks. I literally got an agent right after the 6 weeks ended. Like that week, I landed an agent, and I
mhm.
told her she's magic. I said, I don't know what you did, some voodoo stuff, but she was
It
magic.
worked.
That moon water.
Yeah.
Yo, that
So
is
yeah,
like the best testimonial ever. If she's
yeah.
using your words, like for you to
Mhm.
get picked up like that, that's peak right there. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Yeah. And do you still have the author pep talk?
I
Uh,
do. I do. Uh, it doesn't get as much traction as it used to, but I welcome anybody. It's on Facebook. I have to approve people to join. So, if anybody is listening and they would like to be part of it, you can, I think, just type author pep talk in Google search, and then you can answer some questions, and I can let the authors in. And you don't have to
okay.
even be an author. If like you're a writer and you're aspiring to publish a book, you can join as well, because I think it would be helpful for people to know that they're not alone while they're going through this process.
Yeah. Did you put it
That's
in
so
your
sweet of
book?
you.
That would have been like, I know that Leah's, pep
Right.
talk radio show, but
No,
that
I
would have been
didn't. I
nice.
didn't. I
Yeah.
should have.
You should have put it in there and your
Okay,
little
next time
author
before you
thing.
publish, you have to contact us. We're gonna tell you. Get the cake, the
Yes.
best friend. The cake
Like,
has to be
hey, I
chocolate.
also
Yeah.
have a pep talk, just like Tandy, Leah's pseudonym.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also have this. You should follow me. And that would have been okay. So, okay, we're brainstorming a little. That would have been a great promotional tool to use. So, if you had like 5 pep talk episodes, listen to these along with the book.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
Leah now for the next 5 episodes. This is me giving you a
Yeah.
pep talk. Like
Maybe I'll
that
do
would have been
like
great.
a bonus. like how some authors do bonus stuff. So I can add that as a bonus in my newsletter. Hey,
Yeah.
or
Or
on
like a Friday
Instagram.
night
Yeah.
Instagram live pep talk to promote
Yeah.
the book, like how
Ooh,
fun
oh
would
my
that be?
gosh. All
Take
right.
advice.
Hey, I'm doing that.
I love this. I
Wow.
love this.
Well, we are so happy you came on the podcast again. Thank you so much for sharing your book baby with us, Eat the Cake. Why don't you tell our readers, listeners, and watchers where they can find it, where they can pre-order, where they can find you, all the things.
Okay. You can pre-order anywhere books are sold. You could even go into like your local Barnes and Noble. It's on pre-order now, so you could go into your local bookstore and say, "Hey, I would like to pre-order Eat the Cake." And yeah, it's anywhere books are sold. It's on Amazon, bookshop.org, wherever. And you could find me on my favorite social, Ms. Annie Cathryn on Instagram.
Love that.
Love it.
And before I let you go, would you consider ever, and if you do, you please let me know, bringing authors pep talk to Instagram?
Ooh, you know what? I do have a page set up for it, but I haven't been utilizing it. So you could find it there. Um, yeah,
Only
I would.
because it's social media could be so overwhelming that I
Yes.
try to stay away from Facebook because I
Oh,
have
yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
many personal
Yeah,
connections there, which I love.
sure.
But I really try to use social media for reading purposes, for books, and for
Yes.
everything to do with books.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, so I try not to be on Facebook.
So
Yeah, I
is this a
actually that's
personal
a good.
ask,
Josie.
Mercy, that she brings it to Instagram?
Yes, yes, it's a personal request. Flash,
Well,
maybe you could do it.
I like Priya and your inspiration of doing like live uh, pep talks. So maybe I will start using the Instagram pages set up. You can start following me on it. And maybe I will just pop in every now and do a live and say, hey, authors, if you're going through this, you're not
Mhm.
alone.
And do a post, like submit a question, because this is coming up. I'll answer your questions for you.
Oh
Yes,
my
I'm
gosh.
in.
Okay.
I'm in. I'm
Seriously,
in.
guys. This is
I'm
amazing.
in.
All right. Yes.
Annie, we're just a text away. You let us know. We're there. We will
Thank
have 20 questions for you.
you.
If you want
Okay.
questions, contact us.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's do one last cheers, guys, to Annie
All
Cathryn
right.
and her book, Eat the Cake.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
if you
Order
haven't
now.
pre-ordered it yet, this is your time.
This is your
And
cue.
yes, and happy July, everybody.
Yes.
Eat the
Bye.
cake.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.
Salute.
Cheers.
Thank you, Annie Cathryn, for being our guest. Everyone, like, share, follow, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Till the
Thank
next one. Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.